that deeper breathing starts to loosen things up. So have some tissues handy if you need them. And for the next 60 minutes, set aside the concerns, the challenges, the things that maybe are causing busyness in your mind, and concentrate on the linkage between the breath, the body, and the mind. As we begin to deepen the breath, consciously expand the belly with each inhale breath, and then pull the belly, contract the belly back towards the spine with each exhale breath. Bring enough tone to the front and back body that you feel supported, and that the weight of the upper body flows down the spine, out through the sacrum, into the pelvis, into the sit bones, and it flows evenly, right to left, front to back. Once you've established that pattern of taking the breath deep into the lungs, begin to concentrate on evening out the flow, first evening out the flow of the breath between your inhale and your exhale breath. And once that pattern becomes established, begin to stretch out the exhale breath, giving the air that you've inhaled a little more time to rest within the lungs, allowing for the oxygen from the air you've inhaled to move into the bloodstream, and the carbon dioxide and the water vapor that are contained in the bloodstream to flow out and be exhaled with your next exhale breath. Making sure that there's adequate oxygen available to fuel the metabolism of the body. Now, having established those patterns of the breath, let's take 5 complete rounds of the breath with that stretched out exhale at our own time and our own pace. And you might find that this focus on the breath turns your concentration inward and increases the awareness of where your body's situated in space and what's going on in the body this morning. Let's take the arms down towards the side of the body. Draw the shoulder blades back and together. So moving the shoulder blades slightly in towards the spine, and then sliding the shoulder blades down the back but supporting the front and back bodies equally with the core muscles and the muscles running along the spine. Inhale the arms straight up in front of you, overhead. Let the palms face outward and take the arms down. Inhale up for 2. Moving with the breath, exhaling out, moving very consciously throughout the full range of motion. And now let's reverse that action, taking the arms overhead. Draw the hands back to heart center. Press the palms and the fingertips together. Release the hands down. Inhale up. Exhale back to heart center. And 3, inhale up. Exhale back to heart center. Interlace the fingers and press the palms outwards towards me. Stretching out the forearms, the arms, and move the arms, sort of let the shoulder blades slide slightly away from the spine and let the hands move slightly forward, and then draw the shoulder blades back in towards the spine to let the hands move towards the body. So press out for 1. Exhale, come back for 1. Out for 2. 2. 3. 3. And release the arms down to the side. Inhale the arms overhead once more. And this time as we exhale, fold over the legs, keeping the spine long, and let the hands come to rest on the thighs, maybe on the calves, or the fingertips touch the floors. You can also bring your blocks in to support the hands. Continue that pattern of breathing deeply and expanding the belly into the resistance of the thighs. Take one more full breath here. And inhale, come all the way up. Our hands meet overhead, and we exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale the arms overhead. And this time as we exhale, take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Bring the right hand in towards the spine. Using that right arm as a second spine, begin to twist towards our right side. Stretch the top of the head towards the ceiling and create as much space between each of the vertebrae as you can. And then move into some of that space you've created to deepen the twist. Inhale up. Exhale, come back through center. The right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. The left hand comes in towards the spine, presses into the seat of the chair. And we twist towards now our left side. Initiating the twist as much as possible from the core muscles. Inhale. Exhale, come back through center. Take both hands onto the thighs. Inhale, lift the sternum for the cow part of our cat-cow breath. And then exhale, let the hands slide over the knees and let the spine, traction the spine towards the back of the chair. Inhale, come up and forward, lifting. And exhale, round back. Inhale forward. And this time, as we exhale, just come back to the neutral spine. Build our seated mountain pose from the contact between the two sit bones and the edge of the chair. Level the pelvis. Stack the spine over the sacrum. Stack the neck over the spine. Stack the head over the neck. Draw the chin slightly back and maybe visualize holding that large grapefruit between the chin and the notch of the collarbones. Take one more full breath here. Exhale. And let's use the next inhale to extend the arms straight out towards the side of the room. Rotate the arms so the thumbs face towards the wall behind you. And then flip the palms so the palms and the thumbs face in the other direction. So this starts to lift the shoulder blades up a little bit. Go back for 2, 2, and 3, and 3. Lift the arms overhead, the hands meet overhead, and exhale the hands back to heart center. Inhale, or let's just take the arms to the side. Inhale here and exhale. Keep the weight even on the sit bones as you descend the right fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, taking the left fingertips down towards the floor. Inhale through center for 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, and 10, and 10, 11, 11, and 12, and 12. Come back to center. Do that quick check-in with your seated mountain posture. Raise the arms overhead. Interlace the hands. Release the index fingers. Hug the biceps into the ears. Draw the shoulders back and down. Inhale. Lift the whole upper body out of the pelvis. And exhale, arc towards our right side. Activating the muscles between the right low rib and the right pelvis to pull you down, and feeling the stretch all the way down the outside of the right on the left side. Inhale, come back through center, and exhale, lift, or inhale, lift out, and then exhale, full or arc towards the opposite side. Inhale, come back up to center. Release the hands. Level, stack the spine, level the chin. Inhale and exhale, take the chin towards the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale through center over to the left shoulder. Inhale back through center towards the right. Exhale, come through center towards the left. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back to center, position the head in the center. Take the left fingertips above the right ear. Make sure the spine stays in alignment with the head, and gently allow the weight of the arm stretch out the right side of the neck as we reach the right fingertips down towards the floor. Inhale, come back to center. The right hand, or left hand, comes towards the floor. Right fingertips come above the left ear, and then just draw that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Stretching the left fingertips towards the floor and feeling that stretch down the side of the neck. Inhale, let's return to center. Come back, check in with our seated mountain pose. And let's just do some big circles around. So make sure you're well anchored into the chair. Go forward, sideways, back, and around. Notice the weight shifting onto the sit bones. And then stop and move in the opposite direction. And come back to center. Interlace the fingers and let's draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Flex and point the right toes. Circle the foot in one direction and circle the foot in the opposite direction. Let's release the right ankle onto the left thigh. Cradle the right knee with the right hand and just gently rock the right knee. Draw the spine, stack the spine, come forward. Breathe here. And remember to flex the toes on the right foot towards the shin. But as you're flexing the toes, you're gently pushing the ball of that right foot out, slightly out in front. Inhale here. And the option is to just gently fold forward over the legs. You might notice that's intensifying. For me, that's intensifying the stretch all the way down that the outside of the right leg. Remember to move more deeply into the stretch on your exhale breath, because that's when the relaxation, when the signals to relax get sent to the muscles, that helps you to relax or allows you to relax a little bit more here. Inhale, let's come back to center. And with the knee still resting on the opposite side, let's take the arms out to the side and take the left arm over the right and either reach around the shoulders or bring the hands together. Lift up. And here you might take advantage of the option to slide the right knee so the knees are in alignment, giving us coming into a chair version of eagle pose, stretching the shoulders and perhaps leaning slightly forward over the legs. Using those deep breaths to to strengthen the diaphragm and create spaciousness in the midsection of the body. Let's inhale, come back to center, unravel the arms, and let's release that right foot onto the floor. Stretch the right foot out towards, out in front of you, and use the strength of the muscles all the way down the back of the leg to press the right foot into the floor. Point the toes straight up towards the ceiling. Inhale here and exhale. Open that right leg out to the side. Draw the leg back to center. Put as much pressure on the heel, create as much friction between the floor and the heel as you can for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Hold out on 12. The foot can point up or it can come down onto the floor. You can support yourself on that by taking the hand to the left side of the chair. You can reach one arm overhead and perhaps bring both arms up and breathe here. Take the arms out to the side and look out over the left fingertip, coming into a modified version of Warrior 2. Release the hands down. Draw the right foot into the body. Shift yourself across the chair. And perhaps the left hip might come off the edge of the chair to give you a little bit more freedom of movement in that left leg. Press the left heel into the floor, reach around behind the left leg, and just briefly palpitate the muscles of the hamstrings and the calf muscles. They should be quite firm and strong at this point. As you're pressing the heel down, keep that pressure on the heel and open the left leg out towards the side. Draw it gently back towards center. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, and 12. Keep the leg out on that 12th move. The toes can stay pointing up or they can come facing forward. Let's lift one arm up. See if we can follow it along with the second arm. Breathe here, lower the arms, look over the right fingertips for a modified warrior two. Let the arms come down, draw the left leg in, shift back towards the center of your chair, and take a full deep inhale, and then exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Come back to our seated mountain pose or standing mountain pose, case of Laura. And just notice the strength of this pose. Balance the support that's coming from the core muscles in the front body with the muscles along the spine. Balancing the ease and effort of the front and back bodies. Let's do a little bit of core work before we come up to standing. So let's find an option to use your weights or not. Or if you feel you're losing your form at any time during this exercise, if you're starting to, if it's getting difficult or you're starting to round your back and you've started out with weights, you can just set the weights aside. Let's begin crossing the weights over the front of the body. You can stretch the feet out. And before we just take a moment before we start this exercise to really bring your focus to all these muscles of the core. So the muscles starting right from the pubic bone up through the front body. Those are the ones that are going to lift us up and they're going to lift us up, but also control us as we angle the body towards the back of the chair for one. Exhale for one. Inhale for two. Exhale for two. Inhale for three. Exhale three. Inhale four. Exhale four. Inhale five. Exhale five. Inhale six. Exhale six. Inhale seven. Exhale seven. Remembering, this action is being initiated and controlled by the muscles of the core. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. 11. 11 and 12 and 12. Come back to the neutral spine, your standing seated mountain pose. Reverse the cross of the arms. Inhale as we go back for one. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. This may be a time when you start to notice other muscles coming into play. Remember to concentrate on the core. 10, 10, 11, 11, concentrate on the core. 12, and we're going to hold back on 12 for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come back to center. Let's set the weights aside and just raise that right leg up slightly. Let's take the arms out to the side. Just gently bounce the right leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Extend the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's come back to center and now turn sideways on your chair. We're going to do, before we come up to do some standing work, we're going to do a hip flexor stretch. So let's, if we can sit with the left thigh supported on the chair and bring the right knee underneath the right hip, and then allow it to stretch back and work that outside leg, work the right leg towards straight. Getting that nice stretch down the front of the leg, and then to deepen that stretch, lift the pubic bone, pull the pubic bone towards the navel while lengthening the tailbone towards the seat of the chair. And notice how that intenses the stretch in the hip flexors and the quads. Let's lift the one outside arm, lift the second arm, and breathe here. Let's drop the chair side elbow to the chair side knee. Let the hip open upwards and stretch out in extended side angle. Inhale, come back to center. Draw the right leg in. Switch sides. Now, again, supporting the right thigh on the chair. Bring the left knee first down, then stretching it back, rolling that hip towards the floor, getting a nice stretch, starting to work into that stretch in the hip flexors. Lifting one arm, lifting both arms. And this is an area that if we're spending a lot of time sitting, that gets very tight because, this is the opposite to sitting. Take the chair side elbow onto the chair, let that hip roll upwards, and come to extended side angle. Inhale, come back up, draw that leg in, and let's come up to do some standing work. So we're going to begin facing the back of our chairs. So turning to face the back of the chairs, let's get into our standing version, a mountain pose. So very similar to our seated version, but now standing, breathing here. Place the hands up. And let's walk the feet away from the chair and come into our L pose, or making that L shape with the body, or come a chair down dog. Just depends on what you want to call it. Bend the knees slightly, firm up those core muscles that we worked earlier. So lift the belly towards the spine. Turn the right toes out and step the left knee in towards the chair. So you can make this pose shorter for more stability, or longer for a bit more challenge. Inhale here, draw the tailbone down towards the right heel, lift the pubic bone up, and bend the left knee in towards the chair. Straighten the left knee. Exhale, bend in, and perhaps raise one arm overhead. Straighten that leg, let the arm descend. Inhale, take a hand in, and really think about the connection between the forward foot and the floor, and the back foot and the floor. Come up. If you're feeling stable, let's take both arms away from the floor. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. And straighten. Let's go in for one more time. Lift both arms. And straighten. Take the hands to the back of the chair. Move that back foot from being on the angling towards the edge of the mat. And now let's curl the toes under, step back, and we're going to do that same runner's lunge that we did with the chair support from a standing position, taking our knee, bending our knee, and stretching out the front of the right thigh, those hip flexors, pulling pubic bone up towards the navel as we deepen this stretch in towards the chair. We can lift one or both arms away. And exhale the hands back onto the chair, straighten the leg, that front leg. And now bend the knee, bend both knees down towards the floor, and then straighten both knees. For 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6. Straighten that back leg. Step both legs to meet at the back, so the feet meet at the back of the mat. And let's take the feet slightly wider than hip distance. Come into that forward fold. Press the hands into the chair. Firm the belly. Bend the knees slightly. Draw the upper thighs back and stretch the head forward towards the chair. Perhaps notice a stretch in the side body. And now, if it's available to you, drop the hands down towards the floor. And let's inhale. Come all the way up. Our hands meet overhead. And draw the hands back to heart center. Turn the left foot out to the side and step the right leg in towards the chair. Inhale here and exhale as we bend the right leg towards the chair. Inhale, exhale. You can add gradually by adding one arm or both arms. Hold the next time we bend. Let's drop the hands onto the chair. Lift the back heel. Stretch that back leg out. Bend the knee in towards the chair. Draw the tailbone down. And let's see if we can take one or both arms away from the chair. Release the hands onto the chair. Straighten the front leg. And now bend both knees. And straighten. Bend. 2. Straighten for 2. 3. Straighten for 3. 4. Straighten for 4. 5. And straighten for 5. And 6. Step both feet to meet at the back of the mat and stretch the body out in our chair down dog. Now let's angle that right foot out a bit more sharply and step the left foot in towards the chair. Now, this time we're going to open the pelvis towards the side of the mat. Inhale here. And let's exhale. Lift that right arm and bring the left elbow onto the chair, or maybe the hand down onto the seat of the chair, or perhaps reach down the inside of that right leg. Avoid the temptation to let that upper shoulder roll forward to get deeper into the twist. Inhale, come back up. Turn both feet parallel. Heel toe the feet back in towards center. And let's come and do our tree pose on this side before moving to repeat those exercises on the opposite side. So build the foundation for your tree pose in the chair side foot. Lift the outside heel, open the outside knee out, bring the heel onto the ankle, up onto the calf, or today it may or may not come to the inner thigh. Bring the hands to heart center, open the arms. And if you fall out, take a moment to reestablish your foundation and just return, come back into the pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hands back to heart center. Let the outside leg swing like a pendulum, swing back and forth. And take it all the way back behind you. Hopefully you've got room. And bend over that. Sort of fold at the waist, extend that leg out behind. Bring both feet back to center. And take a moment to just shake things out before either moving your chair to the opposite side or turning around. You can bounce a little bit. And let's come back to center here. So, first of all, let's step that right foot in. Step that left foot back for our triangle, modified triangle pose on this side. So keeping the upper body long, sort of tilt the hips away, bring the elbow onto the back of the chair or down onto the seat of the chair, or the hand can come inside the leg and lift the outer arm up. Again, avoiding that tendency to move forward, keeping the shoulder back. Breathing here. Inhale, come back up to center. Turn both feet parallel. And then heel toe the feet back to center. And let's come beside the chair. Press that inner leg, the chair side leg, into the floor. Establish the foundation for our tree pose. Lift the heel, come onto the ankle, the calf, or up onto the inner thigh. Bring the hands into heart center. Find a focal point that's not the screen. Raise the arms overhead. Breathe here. And exhale, draw the hands back to heart center. Let that outside leg swing freely. And then come forward, take the leg out beside you, behind you. You might even stretch one or both arms out in front if your balance is much better than mine. Inhale, come back up and shake things out before coming back to seated. Coming to seated on the chair, let's find our blocks. Come towards the front edge. Come back to our seated mountain pose. Breathing here. Let's stretch the right foot out in front of us. Bring the hands into the crease of the hips. Lengthen forward over that outstretched leg. And maybe let the hands come onto the blocks. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold over the legs. So switch legs and fold over the other outstretched leg. Let's inhale, bring. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, twisting towards our right side and noticing, perhaps thinking back to that first twist of the day and noticing if things are any different now from that first twist. Inhale here. Exhale, come back through center. The hand comes across and to the outside of the left thigh. Twist towards our left side. And breathe into the twist. Exhale, return to center. And now do whatever you usually do or whatever you think you might, whatever might best prepare you for final relaxation. So grab a drink, extra clothing, extra things to keep you warm. Let's sit down, sit like now towards the back of the chair. Let the back of the chair gently support the back. And now the thigh and the seat, the sit bone, support the weight of the upper body. Become aware of each point of contact between the body and something else. The feet, the thighs, the sit bones, the back, the hands. As you exhale, release any tension, any holding in the body, and let that weight at those points of contact become visibly heavier. Try to coordinate your relaxation with your exhale breath. Let go of the need to deepen and control the breath, and allow the breath to move gently and naturally. Feel the body molding itself to the chair, becoming very fluid. Also, something like a thick, viscous liquid like molasses. just gently relaxing. And as we relax the body, we relax the breath. So too allow the mind to find relaxation. By letting go of the thoughts that cause busyness. By enjoying that feeling of having moved the body in different directions. And cultivate a sense of ease and well-being. Now, mindfully, gradually begin to bring movement back to the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Nod the head up and down. And move it side to side. Move in any way that makes you feel good and deepen the breath. Slide yourself back towards the front of your chair and return to our seated mountain pose, our starting point of the practice, our bookend for the practice. Stretch the top of the head towards the ceiling. Let's take 3 complete rounds of deep breath, but this inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth with a sigh. Inhale. 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 Inhale the arms overhead. Draw them back to hands, back to heart center. Thank yourself for making time for today's practice. And thank each other for the energy that comes from sharing your practice. Even though we're not sharing it in person, we're sharing it electronically. We're still energized by the fact that others are practicing with you, with us. And thank you so much